So good morning everyone. First of all, my apologies for my delay. I'm traveling from 38 kilometers to reach here. And my name is Valmiki, as she has already beautifully described about my profile. So I don't want to talk much more about it, but you will definitely find difference when an academician like Dr. Sandeep can give such a wonderful presentation, and an industry person only can talk, because whatever we undergo, the regular challenges when we talk about the sustainable tourism. So I would like to just touch base. That's how you will understand the industry, institute, interface information through this beautiful seminar for the day. So I have been in the travel and tourism industry for 25 years now. So when I entered into this business at that time, there were very few takers, to take this, a career as a travel and tourism as a career. So even I was not sure that there is such career available. I was one of the 100 goats going to the college and completed my commerce as a bachelor's in commerce. But one of my pen friend from Greece, in those days, no internet, no chatting, no cheating. So it was purely genuine friendship. You write one letter, the letter reaches thousands of miles. After 30 days, she replaced me back, I get a communication. So each communication we used to take 30 to 35 days. That's called pen pal system. It's called pen friendship. Why did I choose that option at that time? Because my father could not afford to send me to an English medium school. We all come from below poverty line. So my dad said, if you want to learn English, make friendship with somebody who don't speak your mother tongue. So a place like Anantapur, a town where you cannot expect other than Telugu, what else language can be spoken. But thanks to the world spiritual master Satya Sai Baba, because I come from the Anantapur town, because to see this Baba, the devotees used to come from 200 countries. So whenever they come to Anantapur for their visa extension, so I was just going behind them to practice my English. My objective is very clear, I want to learn English. At that time, if you ask me the spelling of butler, I used to say B-U-T-L-E-R, that was my knowledge at that time. But when unknowingly I became a guide. I never knew there was a profession called guide. When I was doing my 10th standard, I was a guide for Spanish, Italian, French, you name the languages. The people who comes to Anantapur for their visa extension, I used to go behind them, take them to the FRRO section, get their visa stamping done, or take them to a restaurant, and after that, if they want to get connected to the railway station or to the cab. So then they used to give a tipping, because we never knew a word called tipping in India. So whenever the foreigners, they get inspired, or maybe they got interested in you because you have done selfless service, they wanted to tip you back. So whenever they used to tip me Indian rupees, I used to refuse. I remember one French lady was trying to give me 500 rupees. At that time, 500 rupees was a very big money. And I was just doing 10th standard. I can't even imagine to earn 500 rupees in 1 hour my guiding session to a French lady. I refused that, and I asked her, do you have any coin of your France? She searched her wallet and found 1 franc. And she said, you may be poor in mathematics, 1 franc is 4 rupees in India. I am giving you 500 rupees, why are you refusing 500 and taking 1 franc and showing so interest? I told her I can't travel to France at this stage, but I want a French coin. This 500 I can earn anytime in India. So she hugged me, she kissed me, she went back to France. She sent so much of huge collection. 10 years before, that time we met, the old collections of France, and even some collections of Hitler. And that made me to fall into love with the tourism industry. And my pen friend, I always admire her, and she was none other than Despina from Greece, who sent me an IATA application form. When I was confused about my career, like many students, even today, we are confused. There is a lot of clarity lacking with us. We get always influenced with, our fellow friends, or, neighbors, or the social media. But what is your inner happiness, or what is that you actually want to do, we always try to, miss, because you never talk to yourself. So then I realized through my pen friend, when she sent me an IATA application from Greece, no one able to understand the application in Anantapur because it was written in French, Spanish, then Greek, then in English. So finally I came to know that was a course you have to do, and once you have the diploma in hand, you can get recruited anywhere in the world. Isn't it amazing? So then definitely I applied it, and I never did my hard work. 16 years of my education, but the way I worked for IATA, and I did my IATA qualified, IATA certified member, so I started working for the travel agencies. Almost you name the brand available in India, I have worked for every brand, and even I work for airlines like Ethiopian Airline, Air Madagascar, Continental Airlines, Singapore Airline. So all my passion went through. The more I started traveling, along as a profession, I started visiting the countries. Today I'm so happy and proud to stand in front of you all, visiting 75 countries. So all this, how it happened, an unknown person who knew my taste through my letter exchange, found that this industry suits you. She knew what industry I was actually looking for. And today, friends, I'm telling you, wherever we travel, we always try to respect the locals, and we try to abide by the local rules and regulations. And in the travel business, when I started my business, I have got only two ways in front of me. One, go like the flow. The other agents who are just not at all educating anybody. Their job is just giving a ticket and a package and washing their hands, whether I made my commission for the day or not. They don't even want to take a single bit to educate the fellow traveler, because you're traveling to a foreign land. What is the language, what is the dress, what is the customs, what is the culture. So many cultural shocks people will come across when you start traveling abroad, right? But it is a responsibility of a tour operator like me. As a travel agent, when I'm trying to promote any destination, we always keep the sustainable goals. As you all know, the UNWTO has given 17 SDGs. I don't know how many people have already gone through that. It is very much available on the internet. You can go through. There are 17 best practices if you really wanted to have the sustainable mode of tourism development. In this, I would like to quote one best example. Recently, we visited a place in Medak, which is very close to Hyderabad. They are practicing one beautiful project called CBET. I don't know how many of you all have heard about CBET. This is community-based ecotourism project. So, some community-based ecotourism project, what do you mean by community-based ecotourism? So, whichever community you visit, whether it is a tribal area, whether it is a hill area, whether it is a rural area, so there you are providing employment opportunities. There you are providing some earning opportunities for the locals by your visit to that place. I happened to be in Goa just when the new airport, the second airport was inaugurated. I was fortunate to be the first traveler who arrived in Goa just a month ago, then the second airport. When I was trying to Google or Uber or Ola, nothing is available. So I really appreciated, because wherever you travel, you're stuck to one brand called Ola or Uber, and you're not giving local people, local drivers or local tuk-tuks, There are so many people who depend largely on this sector when it comes to the transportation. So then you are forced to take a local car or local vehicle, then you are giving revenue back to the person instead of applying your apps, so-called big apps. Of course, certain cities, it might be required for business travelers, but when it comes to tourism, I strongly urge and recommend people use local products, use local hotels, and homestay is another beautiful option, which yesterday one gentleman, yes, he has beautifully narrated about the importance of homestays. And they have released a book also. I strongly recommend, when it comes to sustainability tourism, homestay also plays a huge role. You all know the world's famous festival in India, Northeast Hornbill Festival in Nagaland. So people come all over the world to Nagaland, and such a tiny small state cannot accommodate so many guests when they come, the pouring into this small, place. So there, every home will convert their house. They all will stay in one bedroom, 2 to 3 bedrooms. They will open it for a traveler. And the government is supporting them very well. and the imagine you are staying with the local people. You know, I always used to dream that, you know, whenever from the tourism industry, we always get fam tours. You all must be knowing what do you mean by fam tours. Fam tours are familiarization tours. For example, I was invited to South Korea by the Korean Tourism Board, and they put me in the 62nd floor of Marriott Hotel, and in the 62nd floor, whichever hotel you are visiting Marriott, whether it is Amsterdam or it is Korea or in America, their ambience remains same. You don't even feel that you are in Korea or you're in America or you're in India, because they have their own unique style of building the hotels. So there I was staying in 62nd floor, and one of my pen friend invited me, because then we got into the social media, got connected. She wanted to invite me. I kept my luggage in 62nd floor in a luxury hotel, stayed in a dormitory where my pen friend lives in such a small home. But friends, I'm telling you, people thought that you are a madman, keeping the luxury aside. Why are you coming and sleeping here on the mat? But you know, the time we spent, first they started the tea ceremony. Do you all know what is tea ceremony? I never knew. If I would have stayed, continued in Marriott, I would have not understood what is tea ceremony. So tea ceremony is like a meditation. You all sit, in an appropriate position, and you start consuming the tea with your loved ones, and they keep playing a melodious music, and you keep sipping your tea and enjoy the meditation. So this I would have really missed if I would have stayed in such a corporate culture. You know, today we are talking about so-called corporate cultures and forgetting about the, local customs, traditions, and socio-economical developments we are foregoing actually. So I always recommend people, and of course, be like a Roman when you are in Rome. The saying is good, but I have been taking people from South India to different parts of the world. They say, if you provide me idli or sambar, I can come to anywhere in the world. If you don't give me idli sambar, I'm sorry, I'm not in your trip. So that is another challenge for me. I have to source in Finland, where only 2,000 inhabitants are living and 4,000 polar bears are living, such a place where I was, and I have to provide them Indian food. So which is quite challenging. But you know, we try to educate the travelers. Of course, vegetarian plays a huge role. Now the whole world is turning towards vegetarian, and Indians, when you say non-vegetarian, they restrict to only one or two items like chicken or meat. But when you say non-vegetarian in some parts of the country, other than chicken and lamb, everything is available as a non-veg, which Indians cannot even dream of actually, you know. When I was in Uzbekistan, they served me horse meat. I was shocked. Why do we need, horse meat also can be, eaten, because that's a local dish. That's a local famous dish there, most expensive. And in the marriages and all, they serve the horse meat. When I was in Jeju Island, in South Korea, there is an island called Jeju Island. The famous dish there is black pork barbecue. Can you imagine? The pork itself, if it is a white one, of course it is taken care well and people are eating fine, but this black pork is the one which goes in the streets and comes back, This is the one especially cooked there, and people all will enjoy these kind of items. See, every country, every destination has got different flavors. And when you give an opportunity to dine with the locals, when you give an opportunity to stay with the locals, when you give an opportunity to travel with the locals, your sustainable goals are taken care. So imagine a cruise liner touching a small place called Kadmat Island in Lakshadweep. 2,000 inhabitants are living in that island. All 2,000 people are paid equally, because the ship is bringing about 1,800 people into some small territory where all these 2,000 people are getting benefited through various economical sources. So that is why we always tell travelers, wherever you go, please have a look. Try to make an attempt, to taste the local food, and try to spend with the locals, and try to make an interaction. Then you will understand more, and you will start respecting. The more you travel, the more humble you become. You will realize that later, and you will also know your strengths. You will also know your weaknesses when you travel, whether it is a solo or in the groups. And as Dr. Sandeep clearly said, it is a stress management, no doubt about it. And today, how important to have a family lawyer, how important to have a family doctor It is that important to have a family travel consultant. And I coined it, and it is recorded with the Ministry of Tourism. And now the travel and tourism is no more luxury, it is a necessity. So now it become a part of the life for everyone. Earlier, when the mobiles came in the in the system, the mobiles were restricted to only the rich people. Now today, mobile is not a luxury item; it is a necessity. So when a luxury can be converted to a necessity, it is a part of your life. So the more you travel, I'm telling you, you will bring the change. Even today, doctors, for information, especially the psychologists, when you go with your stress management or some kind of psychological effects or problems, he's writing not a prescription with the tablets, he's just writing, take a break. What do you mean by take a break? Leave this place, leave these people, and go to a strange place. There's nothing but undertake a travel. The travel has got so much of vibration, and the way you change your thinking level, and you always think the world is this much, but when you start traveling, your thinking level will totally change, and you will also start respecting your motherland. You will start respecting your food. You will start respecting your loved ones the moment you start traveling. There are so many things one can learn, but to continue this travel and tourism industry, the sustainable goals are definitely mandatory. Every traveler is responsible. Not only the government all alone can introduce certain methods or practices. It is the travel etiquettes we are lacking. We always tell people, do's and don'ts when you go to a foreign land. But whatever you say don'ts, they want to do that as first. So that is again another challenge with many mindsets of the people. So when you are going to, because whenever I take the groups, I always find these challenges, because the behavioral changes, the travel behavior changes. So travel etiquettes are really, really mandatory. And that's why we started teaching people whenever before they travel, we take at least half an hour to 45 minutes, we give them a lecture, or we give them a seminar, or we run through a PowerPoint presentation, or we run through a movie about the destination where they are visiting, to educate the traveler. Otherwise, they should not come back and say that you never told me this. There was one example I'll tell you. One couple were traveling to Sri Lanka, and they came at the 11th hour, picked up passports from us, and they were rushing to airport. The lady was wearing the Buddha image from top to bottom, because whatever the dress she is wearing, the Buddha image everywhere. So I asked her, do you want to go with this dress to Sri Lanka? She said, yes, I bought this particular frock just because of this travel. I said, if you don't mind, there are people who may get emotionally hurt if you wear Buddha everywhere on the body. So let's respect the local feelings. I recommend you to change the dress. She refused, and her husband also, your job is selling the ticket and closing the deal. Don't teach us, that's how they spoke, and they both left. They were stranded in the airport, and they were not allowed to send out of the airport for more than 1 hour. They made them to sit in a dark room, and the officer said, the Sri Lanka has more than 90% Buddhist believers. So we have to respect the local, belief system, So then immediately she realized, as a travel consultant, when we are trying to give some advices, sometimes people take it seriously, some people don't, some people ignore it, then they realize little later. So what I'm trying to say, end of the day, so it is our responsibility. You all are the future leaders of travel, tourism, and hospitality domain. And this is the only industry in the world which can cater to all industries. That means we are the BAP of industries. You can proudly say that. And whoever introduced you to this domain to enter, or by accident you came, you please appreciate or hug them who introduced you here. Or, or if you have taken a decision on your own, taking this as a career, you have to appreciate yourself that you are in a right domain. Yes, it tests your patience, because you cannot change or bring the sustainable goals overnight. It is a continuous process. It is a continuous process when you go, especially the safaris we all go. The Assam government has banned when you want to go have a safari on an elephant. Because certain people have objected that that is not the way you have to travel. Now they come out with a new innovation. You all are in the bone, and the vehicle will be going in the jungle. You are all in the inside the bone. the animals are freely walking around. So that is another innovation. And when you enter into Kenyan safaris, you all know, must be knowing the safari is famous for Kenya. They have a huge entrance where they have written, you want to see the world's most dangerous animal, put one coin, you know, when you put one Seychelles, you know, it will open and there is a huge life-size mirror is there. So what do you mean, who is the world's most dangerous animal? Is none other than a social animal called human being. So these until you change this, you know, thinking and, you know, behavior, you know, we carry the lot of luggage with us. We carry the plastic and, you know, and we dump everywhere. I mean, we don't even, you know, take it back. You know, there are certain places where we went and introduced, especially in Telangana, is the abundance of forest we have. So we do have small safaris. Whenever we go, we tell them that, okay, when you are going, you have to write how many plastic utensils you are carrying inside. When you come back, how many you brought back. If you have brought more than what you took, you will be paid incentive. So these are the small practices which Forest Department is trying to implement, or, you know, the Tourism Department is also trying their best to implement. But end of the day, it has to come within ourselves, you know. Can I throw this out? How is it going to damage? You know, then whatever self-sustainable goals we are talking about, that limits to the lecturing only or seminar basis only, or having a nice sleep while listening this soothing speeches. But end of the day, if you really wanted to see the change, be the change. So it is our responsibility to make the changes of the mindsets of the travelers wherever they're traveling, however frequent travelers they are. It is our responsibility to educate them and empower them so that they'll come back with a lot of memories. And today, whenever anybody buys a package from me, they'll say, no, Valmiki will take a lecture, better we go to elsewhere. Even such incidents also happened, because end of the day, I do not wanted to, you know, send anybody with no information or no knowledge, because definitely each country has got a different practices, and even right from dressing sense to the local etiquettes, you know. So unless you guide people properly, otherwise you are misguiding in the name of guiding actually. So the tourism industry has become a dinosaurs of the industry today. Thanks to pandemic, you should all thank pandemic, because yes, many people lost jobs. Even I lost. I closed my company in between, and again we opened the office, and again we are trying to take people back. But pandemic taught many lessons to travelers. How to distance. We don't know the queue system, right? We know how to stampede on each other. But at least thanks to pandemic, people learning how to maintain a distance. Now, they never used to wash their hands. But now, thanks to pandemic, now we started becoming more hygiene than earlier. You know, and even whether you cough or, you know, you always wear a mask, you know, all these things actually taught us, you know, how to be hygiene. When you are traveling, you may take a flight ticket, you may take a visa, you may take a hotel confirmation, you may take a global overseas insurance. But one thing which you cannot take from anybody is your health is in your hand. So these all pandemic taught us. So this pandemic is also made a travel and tourism industry, dinosaurs of the industry, because people were stuck at the doors for 2.5 hours when international borders were closed. So now people wanted to take the revenge. So people have called it as a revenge tourism. That's why the mass tourism happening, over tourism is happening. The demand is more, supply is less. You don't, actually if Indian population all at a time fall sick, you all understood and witnessed that there were no beds available in the hospitals, right? Because we never fell sick all together at a time, right? But that happened during the pandemic period. Now everybody wanted to travel, how many flights can cater them? So some airlines started taking that as an advantage. 2 years, whatever they got losses, they started making it because they have to also sustain. So that's why the fares are, before you are touching the sky, your fare is already touching the sky. The fares are so high, so high. But even then, people do not want to stop traveling. People have become unstoppable, and they started traveling. And everybody wanted to go to a virgin destination. What do you mean by virgin destination? Where there is no crowd, where people do not know about the destination. As Dr. Sandeep said, Those are available plenty in rural areas. We always think cities are glamorous and we want to only go to the cities. But those are all an artificial intelligence, all artificial everything. If you go to Dubai, have you heard Dubai just 20 years before there was, nobody heard about Dubai. Today the whole world is attracted towards Dubai. Now he's talking about the future of Dubai. They've made so many, developments where they wanted to attract a fellow traveler. Now can you imagine a desert like Dubai attracting with 130 attractions? That means, literally speaking, if a layman, if he wants to go to Dubai and see every attraction, he needs 13 to 15 days to stay there. So that was never before earlier. So what made them to come up so quick? Because when the oil wells started drying, they knew the tourism is the only industry which can bring the people. And you want the people to get connected, tourism only can connect people. Even before doing a business, first you should have, people should have a friendship between a country to other country, a continent to another continent. This can happen only through the tourism. If terrorism, divides, it is tourism which connects. So tourism is a very powerful tool, and we have not utilized it to the fullest strength. And there is huge opportunities. I'm telling you, I have been searching for manpower for past 6 months. I'm not finding, skilled laborers. There's acute shortage of skilled labor in the travel and tourism and hospitality domain. So I'm telling you, you all are lucky people. You are going to definitely, find beautiful jobs. At the same time, you can become an entrepreneur. This is the wonderful industry. I'm telling you, you will really enjoy. And there is a long way. Tourism. Another beauty of tourism is, it is resilience by nature. No government or no one need to push it. It bounces back by itself. So that is the beauty of travel and tourism industry. So I would like to sum up saying that just follow the UNWTO's 17 SDGs goals that is applicable for all industries, particularly for travel and tourism industry. There are so many SDGs are involved directly or indirectly. At the same time, the government of India is also introducing so many projects as Swachh Bharat, I mean, there are so many. Even Dekho Apna Desh is another beautiful project which our Prime Minister Narendra Modi has started talking about. When the world was disconnected with India, he urged every Indian to travel at least 15 destinations within India. Actually, frankly speaking, I am an outbound expert. I don't know what is available in Hyderabad at that time. I used to sell in Hyderabadis to all over the world. I am well equipped with 7 continents, including Antarctic. I can make packages. Okay, but I was very poor about my own culture, about my own destinations, about my own culinary activities happening, our own gastronomy tours. Thanks to pandemic, I started traveling within India, from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, northeast to the west, and I found a world in India. You all will agree, a world is located in India. Every 100 kilometers you travel, you will find the culture difference, language difference, food difference, customs, traditions. You are so happy that you have got so many students coming from, I think, 10 plus countries. Students are living along with you guys. So you rub their shoulders with them, try to learn about their culture, their customs, their traditions. This is how you are learning about the tourism. Because tourism industry is, it is invisible. But the moment you enter into and practice it, you will really enjoy it. Tourism is the rhythm of the life. Tourism is the way of life. Okay, with that, I would like to conclude. Thank you so much. And I always admire NITHM and Chinnam Reddy Garu and their team. They always work tirelessly to bring some innovation, because tourism industry is all about innovation. So which they have been doing, and I'm very glad. And if at all I retire, I would like to be a academician to teach more tourism professionals. That's why I would like to, whenever the students call me, I will never say no. Even though I have a group departure today, I have to rush back, but still I made it sure. I want to give a small advice from my side. You have to have more passion. The passion is the only key in the tourism industry, because you will be tested your patience to the maximum. If you wanted to hold down your patience, even patience is also one of the self-sustainable goal you have to fix for yourself. How patience comes? If you have passion, right? The pressure cooker, out of pressure it gives you what? Whistle. So you should know the art of whistling when you're sitting on the fire. Thank you so much.